Hello guys, today we are gonna watch Zack D films, whatever these are. Vax murderer.
They saw strange footprints in the snow leading to their house, but they didn't see any leaving, meaning the person was still inside. Their keys went missing, and they heard footsteps in the attic at night. Then, one by one, they were lured to the barn and killed with a pickaxe. The murderer went inside and killed the rest of the family, but the investigators found something shocking. After the murders, the killer stayed at the house for days, feeding the livestock and even cooking meals. Despite several investigations, no one was ever caught, and this case still remains unsolved. The man charged forward with the chainsaw, determined to kill his son. You see, he had attacked him because they had been arguing, but before he could strike, the young man ran him over with the mower instead. The metal teeth chewed through his leg, ripping through chunks of flesh and bone, and he was rushed to the hospital where his injured leg was amputated. He was later convicted of attempted first-degree murder. The man charged forward with her scarf got caught in a conveyor belt where she was working. The powerful motor got a hold of her hair and pulled her head into the mechanism, and there was no switch near the machine for her to stop the conveyor belt herself. Coworkers heard her yell and ran to stop the machine, but there were too many tubs in the way and they couldn't reach her in time. The mechanism was so strong that it cut her throat and she was decapitated. Her scarf got caught in a conveyor belt. He watched the masked man grabbing and dragging his own lifeless body
So why would you watch that? How?
Across the floor. You see, he had acquired this special security camera that let him see into the future.
Oh my god, let me have that, please.
Curious, he set it up, eager to test its abilities. But as soon as he turned on the live view, his stomach dropped. He slammed the laptop shut. His hands were shaking. That was him, dead. He took a deep breath and forced himself to watch it again, over and over. Every time, the masked man grabbed and pulled his dead body across the floor. He scoured the internet, searching for the mask. Nothing matched. He double-checked his locks and installed more. For days, he barely slept. Every sound sent a jolt through his chest. Then, one night, a sharp crack echoed through the house. He froze. It was footsteps. He grabbed the knife and crept downstairs. In the dim light, he saw him, the masked man, holding a knife, stepping into the living room. He lunged. The struggle was quick and violent. The knife drove deep again and again until the body collapsed. He gasped for air, hands trembling. Slowly, he reached down and peeled away the mask. His own face stared back at him. His stomach churned, his vision blurred. A knock at the door. Panic surged through him. He grabbed the mask, pulling it over his own face, and without thinking, he grabbed the body and began to drag it out of the room. He watched the masked man grabbing and dragging. They put a tack on her chair as a joke, and when she sat down, it pierced her skin. She let out a yell before laughing at the prank. But a few days later, she began to feel sick. You see, the tack actually had bacteria on it, which entered her bloodstream through the wound. The infection quickly spread, causing severe blood poisoning. Doctors did everything they could, but unfortunately, she didn't make it.
So she died over a needle? Are you serious? She died over a needle? What happened to her eyes? Yeah! Oh my god.
The poodle fell and hit the head of a 75-year-old woman. Both died instantly, and a crowd gathered around them, spilling out into the street. A passing bus hit a different woman who died from the injuries, and a nearby man suffered.
What? How does 4 people die because of a dog? Bro, that's literally Final Destination. That's literally actually Final Destination. Calmness seconds, 5 seconds in GTA 5. Bro, true! This is the type of the vision of the main character. She's a Final Destination movie. That's what I'm saying. Amazing. Double kill. Triple kill. Unstoppable. That's so funny. Bro, why is everybody actually saying Final Destination had a permission? Oh my god. Stop that. Move later. Oh my god, I just saw a vision.
The dead person is fed daily meals and even given gifts as though they were still alive. That's because people believe the soul is still present until the funeral. But these funerals are expensive, so the body is embalmed and kept in the home while they save up. Sometimes this can take years, and during this time, they aren't considered dead, just sick.
I want to see that. Wait, hold on. What the heck is that? Oh my god, I thought, oh my god, what the heck is wrong with those legs? What the heck?
After a complex ceremony, the spirit goes to the afterlife, and finally the body is placed in a cliffside tomb, completing the... They struck him with a car, killing him before speeding away. But this was no accident. You see, 2 years earlier, they had found him living on the streets. They took him in and helped him, but what he didn't know was that they'd taken out a life insurance policy in his name. After they staged the hit and run, they collected millions. And they did this 2 more times before finally getting caught and sentenced to life in prison. She fell onto the tracks and was cut in half by an oncoming train. And those who hear
cut in half? Oh my god.
The story of her death are soon haunted by her spirit. The ghost has no lower body, and she moves by dragging herself with her hands. As she does...
Okay, hold on. I want to tell you a story. Story time with Danny. My mom was in the neighborhood. And then, she saw a guy. She saw a guy with, a masked man. No, wait, hold on. I forgot. Okay, I want to do something crazy about myself. I'm so dumb for this, but my dad said, I was like, hey, can I go to my room, Dad, alone? And my dad, we were on the bottom floor, so our room was up high. And then my dad said, nah, that's a wait. My dad said, yeah, as a joke. And then I went to the wrong elevators. And then I went back down. And then my dad was like, seriously? And then it was crazy, so yeah.
Bones make a clicking noise, giving her the name Tech. If she finds you walking alone at night, she'll chase you down with supernatural speed. And if she catches you, legend says she'll slice you in half, leaving you legless just like her. She fell onto the tracks and was cut in half by an...
Turning to a ghost?
A fan threw what appeared to be a rubber bat onto the stage at the concert. And without hesitation, Ozzy Osbourne picked it up and bit into it, thinking it was a toy. But to his shock, the bat was real. The moment he bit down, he realized the mistake as the bat's blood filled his mouth. He was rushed to the hospital immediately after the show to receive rabies shots.
Meow, meow.
What the heck?
She spilled her husband's ashes on her hand and decided to lick them off. And even though they tasted like rotten eggs, she felt closer to her husband while eating them. Soon, she was carrying the ashes everywhere and
Okay, who would do that?
snacking on them several times a day, and she ended up eating a pound of the remains. But corpses are treated with 8 different chemicals before they're cremated, and if eaten, they can cause hallucinations and even death. The warrior chopped off his enemy's head as a trophy after winning the battle. He tied it to his horse and started to ride home. They saw the boat struck at full speed, knocking the woman underwater. You see, she was in the water with her sons in a swimming area, but one boat had ignored the rules and was racing through the restricted waters. She saw it coming and had only seconds to react. She pushed her son out of the way, saving his life. But there was no time to save herself, and the famous musician was killed instantly. His train crashed into a freezing river, but he
Wait, hold on, let's see. A man who's cheated death 7 times?
survived and claimed that he was the luckiest man in the world.
Okay, who in the world will survive a train crash?
The next year, he was in a plane crash and 19 people died, but he managed to land in a haystack, surviving again. Later, he was in a bus crash, a car explosion, and 3 more serious accidents. And after surviving,
How does he survive 7 times? Oh my god, he's God. My god, death was literally, God was staying close to him.
Disaster after disaster, he ended up buying a lottery ticket and winning.
Coca-Cola.
Bro, I'm stunned with the...
She jumped, but her main parachute didn't open, and when she pulled the emergency, it sent her spinning out of control. She hit the ground at 80 miles an hour, shattering her bones, and the force was so hard the fillings flew out of her teeth. Now, she should have died, but she landed on a mound of fire ants, and they stung her over 200 times. The venom shocked her heart into beating and released a massive surge of adrenaline. And when paramedics finally found her, she was covered in ants, but alive.
Alive?
They would be placed into a sack alongside a monkey, a snake, and a chicken. This punishment was saved for people who killed their parents. Once sealed, the sack was thrown into a river. As the person inside struggled to breathe, the panicked animals would attack, creating a chaotic and brutal scenario. The goal was to ensure that the punishment was as horrifying as the crime. A layer of oil was applied to your face if you died in ancient times. Then a mold was carefully placed on top, which would He attacked his mother-in-law with an iron bar and began stabbing her repeatedly. Then he turned on his father-in-law, choking and stabbing him before leaving them both bleeding. Covered in blood, he drove straight to a police station and confessed, saying he had just killed 2 people. But he insisted that he was sleepwalking the entire time. Experts claim he had no control over his actions, trapped in a deep sleep state. The jury believed him and he was free to go.
Oh my god. Bro, so he murdered his family and they let him go? At least put him in prison for like... Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
This phone is the most destructive weapon of all time, and it recently sold in an auction for $244,000. So what makes this thing so destructive? Well, the name on the back might give you a clue. Most of Hitler's commands for the last 2 years of World War II were made from...
Hi, my name is Danny, and I love myself. Like, imagine getting this phone. Oh, Daddy, look, I got a phone. And then it blows up.
This phone. This inanimate object was used to send millions to their deaths. This means that this phone is the most...
Bruh.
The girl took a Tylenol to help with a cold, but within hours, she was dead. Over the next few days, 6 more people in the area died the same way. The deaths triggered nationwide panic. Stores pulled Tylenol from shelves, and millions of bottles were recalled. Authorities launched a massive investigation and discovered the capsules had been laced with cyanide. The tragedy led to the invention of tamper-proof seals, but the poisoner was never caught. The girl He ran around his apartment in virtual reality, but the game didn't map his apartment properly, and as he played, he tripped on a glass table. He landed hard, which shattered it instantly, and dozens of glass shards sliced into his body. With no one there to help, he bled out quickly, and by the time he was found, he had died in both realities.
Okay, that's like the VR that they played. Except in MetaQuest 2. Like POV, you die. Oh no, I died. Wait, what the heck?
She slammed into him, and he flew through her windshield, but she was drunk, and instead of calling for help, she drove home with him still stuck in the glass. Once she was in her garage, she apologized, only to leave him there for 2 more days as he bled out. When he finally died, she and her friends stuffed his corpse into a car trunk and dumped it in the park. But after she bragged about it at a party, police discovered her crime.
Bro,
Grab a book.
I swear, these keep... Okay, I got it.
While talking to her fiance, she mentioned that a truck was circling her. Then the truck stopped and a man got out, but he quickly got back inside and shined a flashlight around. She thought nothing of it, but a moment later, her fiance heard her scream. He drove as fast as he could to help her, but on the way, he heard someone call his name from the truck that passed by. He turned around to chase it, but damaged his car, bringing him to a stop. And despite years of searching, she was never seen again. The magician was locked in the transparent coffin, handcuffed, and the dead person is fed daily. The bodies of 9 hikers were found scattered across the snow.
Who the heck will kill 9
On a mountain in Russia.
Or maybe they fell down and died.
Were sent to find them, only to discover...
No eyes, no tongue, twisted neck, yeah. Hypothermia? No eyes, missing tongue, naked, and a broken neck.
Their tent had been cut open from the inside. Their bodies were
Is it a tiger?
found laying in the snow, and some were only dressed in their underwear. 2 bodies were missing eyes, and 1 was missing a tongue. They had fled the tent barefoot in sub-zero temperatures. 1 had a fractured skull, another had a twisted neck, and others showed signs of massive internal injuries. Though investigators ruled it as a natural event, like hypothermia, the bizarre details continue to fuel theories, some far darker than a natural event. She jumped, but
Bruh.
Come on!
But I kind of want to see this video. Oh, never mind, she doesn't die. Well, guys, I hope you loved that video. If you want to check out another video, I will make a part 2, and I will see you later. Goodbye.